in here. We've had Ronan in here. He's been a little busy though.
Yeah, Simply Divine has debuted at his first match last week. Tell me.
No.
How did it go?
Listen, it was a little. To him, it was a little disappointing for him. But if you ask me, we had a 5 out of 5 showing. Even made a few fans on the outside. Everybody's talking about him. There's a buzz about it. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
I just think, if you want to talk about buzz, though, I'll tell you what. Even though Ronan didn't make the splash he wanted to, this guy right here, after repeated attempts, he made his final debut win, able to pick one up for himself. It's been so long, but he finally had what I call a triple M. It's a Mark Magnus moment.
And now he's losing?
No, he won last week.
Mark Magnus won?
Yes, he won.
Did he pin the guy?
I'm pretty sure he did. Okay. I'm gonna call it a solid 50-50. It was either him or Jax, but I'm pretty sure
you literally watched the match.
I sure did.
How do you not know this?
Because Jax was
How
in the ring.
do you not know?
Hey,
is he now the territorial champion?
Definitely not the territorial champion. Mark Magnus was in a tag team match. There wasn't any champions. It was against Juan Sanchez and his mentor, man, myth, legend TJ, and it was he obviously Mark Magnus here had a strong partner in Jax, as I said. So Jax obviously tore it up a little bit. Mark Magnus had a excellent opportunity in his hands. TJ hadn't been eager to get into the ring. And I had said, Mark Magnus, take what you could get in that moment. That was the best chance Mark Magnus was going to get. You couldn't make it work there, never make it work anywhere. But, maybe it was, circumstances. But Mark Magnus still got one. And that's my guy. That's my goat, okay? So I don't want to hear any more slander.
He looks like a goat.
Hey. That's a likable face. Who doesn't like goats?
I don't.
You know what to talk about?
I don't like goat cheese. I don't like goat milk. I don't like goats. I don't like goat hair. I don't like goat fur. I don't like goat hooves.
Hey, at least Mark Magnus doesn't have to cover.
I don't like goats when Juan Sanchez is trying to say LeBron James is the goat. Actually, Juan Sanchez has ruined goats.
Yo, you know what? Hold on. I need you to stop talking about goats for a second. Because I need to.
Fine, well, I'm going to hype up. I'm talking about ghosts then.
We're
going to the Henna House tomorrow.
Hold on,
Lots of ghosts there.
There's plenty of ghosts there, but let me tell you about the present. Let me tell you about the future, right? These two right here cooked it up, right? The debut, the hotness, Simply Divine, Ronan, all right? I got to glaze up a little bit. This is, you can call me biased all you want, but this is my guy right here, all right? I can't let you, can't let you talk over goats without, taking this guy out of the equation here. I'm telling you, in the future made goat right here. All my chips on this guy.
Why are we talking about Halloween costumes?
Halloween costumes.
You're talking about Halloween costumes. He's a person. He can't be a goat.
We got a whole chicken guy over here.
When did she come back? When did she get here?
She's been here. She hasn't been coming into the ring though.
We don't like her.
You don't like her?
She's evil. Last time
little action in the ring there. The evil's a harsh word.
No, she's evil. Pure.
You're talking about evil. There's a whole Bane in the ring right now.
Yeah, who is that?
It's Asher, bro.
Asher?
Will Asher.
Action? Action Bronson?
Action? No. Will Asher here is a dangerous guy.
Does he wrestle with that?
No. He has to take it off, but he keeps it on until the match starts. He doesn't want to show his face for as little as possible. You can only find his face at WCWO, so he just doesn't want his face anywhere else. Doesn't want anybody to see. Doesn't want anybody to know. Takes risks here every single night. There's people looking for him. He's the kind of guy who believes that, when you're a violent man, violence follows you where you go. I just think it's interesting. I think Ronan's kind of a big man, allowing himself to pair up with, the guy who, beat him last week, maybe a little bit of a roll up, but even still, Troy Valentine, found it out. Troy said, you're the bigger man. I'm going to come out, I'm going to come out on top.
Last time I saw Cooter, he was laid out by a Russian. Very good-looking Russian, by the way. If I do say so myself.
I have a hard time. I try to block that one out of my memory.
He's wearing red in tribute.
Yeah, I try to block that one out of my memory, Roji. I really do.
We all have.
Red is not inherently a flattering color on some people.
Looks good on me.
Cooter makes it fine.
I make it look good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
They told me what you were saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
Good.
I'm taken though.
No. I'm so fine.
I'm flattered.
You can have Cooter all you want.
I don't want Cooter.
Listen,
Let's see what this new kid Will Asher has to offer here in the ring.
Listen,
Will Asher has been around for a little bit. Then he got injured earlier this year. Was out for a minute. Obviously went on some sort of self-reflective journey while he was gone. Looks like he thinks I don't know if he's found himself or he's lost himself. This is very different Will Asher than we saw last time he was here.
I think a self-reflective journey is like, that's I don't know. That's
when I say that I mean he watched a lot of Batman.
There's a lot more than just Batman under Will Asher right now. This man is, he's violent. He's violent. He's crazy.
I have heard from. I wasn't here last week. I have heard from people that have spent time around him that he doesn't spend time in the locker room with the rest of the roster and wrestlers. He spends time outside in the darkest possible area he can find.
He does not want to make friends. When he thinks that, like he said, when you're a violent person, violence follows you, and when you inflict violence on other people, that's just the way it goes. And the more you get to know other people, the harder it makes it when you got to do your job. He's the kind of guy, if he gets in the ring and he doesn't know that, that win is gonna guarantee him moving forward, he might just take you out, because if you're taken out completely, that's one less body to move forward. That's one less body out of his way. This is just, all around, this is the kind of person you don't want to see opposite of you in the ring. It's interesting to see how, Mack Sterling has been able to, cauterize, neuter him here with his partner. I'm sure that Will Asher used to getting ganged up on by multiple people, so he's trying to pick his moment here. And eats that chop, too. Pain averse. You can say that again. And Ronan here picking his moment. Looks like he got a little tag on Mack. I don't know if the referee caught it, though. Ronan, you're going to make his way in. I think he did.
Ronan taking the advantage of an opportunity, an opening, taking himself in, try to get in there with Will Asher. Has backfired immediately.
Yeah, Will Asher's putting some damage on him.
Will Asher is so scary that Rev Cody is in therapy just from walking past him.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Yes.
I'm sure that Will Asher must have said something, did something. I don't know, man.
It's an unlikely tag team here. Will Asher is somebody who wants the absolute worst for everybody around him, tagging with Mark Magnus, a man who's never met somebody he didn't love.
Listen, I love Mark Magnus to death.
You're the only
myself.
One.
Hey, no.
You're the only one.
Listen, I hate. I'm not the only one, because if you watch the show, Reggie, you'd accuse me of not knowing. But if you watch it, you'll hear plenty of cheers. It's not just me who loves Mark Magnus and every moment he creates. He's literally building momentum for himself. As Ronan here only a 1 count here, and everybody's scrambling to get in the ring. But Mark Magnus doesn't have the greatest of win-loss records.
Yeah,
right?
So that's an understatement.
I love the guy, but beggars cannot be choosers. He's got to take who he can in the locker room. When an opportunity shows up, there's a tag.
Nobody likes him.
There's a tag match.
Everyone hates this guy.
Hey, it's about business, right? It's not about nobody likes him. It's just you cannot associate with people who can't help themselves. Mark Magnus is to prove that he can fend for himself here. It's all sharks here at WCWO, and Will Asher's proven it.
Oh, draping Simply Divine. That's his name.
Yeah, Ronan. Ronan, he is Simply Divine. But Asher here is trying to show Mark Magnus.
Why does he like vines?
No, he is divine. He is like,
Divine, like the vine.
No, like gifted from God.
It's like Simply Vines, like that Simply like lemonade.
You wouldn't get it. It's you just wouldn't understand, right?
I'm
listen.
confused.
You know what? You went for the tilt-a-whirl right now. You think you're confused. Ronan right here, he's seeing 8 different kinds of stars right now. Yeah, I think it is actually.
Whoop whoop! Oh, look
Ronan
at that
now,
chop from Mark Magnus onto Simply Divine.
Now he's gonna pass
it
on to his partner here, Will Asher.
You know what we should call Will Asher and Mark Magnus if they stick together?
What should we call
The
them?
Yin Yang Twins.
Why should we call them that?
Dark, light, and they look alike.
Do you think they look alike?
You don't? Happiness and evil, darkness and light, pain and joy, or pain and sorrow. Sorrow is what I feel when I look at Mark.
Which one's the darkness?
Will.
I thought you were gonna say it was
No, Magnus is the sorrow.
I thought you were gonna say that Magnus was the dark, because if you look at him from above, then Will Asher, you see the white, and with Mark you see his hair.
Mark is the sorrow, because that's what I feel when I look at him.
No. How could you feel
Troy
sorrow?
Valentine getting his first taste of action. He
It's
looks like he could go flying up to the top, springboard, suicide dive.
Troy Valentine
Off of the top rope. Simply Divine picking up the pieces. This could be all she wrote for Mark Magnus again.
Yeah, these two, honestly, picking it together. I mean, Ronan loves to take notes from everybody. As he said, he went in that Royal Rumble. He said, I got my hands on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Think I felt up about everybody. Made his debut, and then tags with that person he makes his debut with. If you lose, you got to learn from that person.
Here's the thing: Ronan's got the advantage in every match.
Oh my gosh! The huge boot to the face too.
Every
That's
match
crazy.
Ronan's in, he has the advantage. You know why? Because he's been on commentary for 7 months, watching everybody.
Exactly.
Every week.
That's what we call on the grind, because when you're not...
That's 13 matches he's watched.
And you have to think about it. That's not counting all that practice, too. And when you're in the practice and you're in the ring with everybody, you're watching everybody, how much can they lift? How much can't they lift? How long can they run for? And then you sit in here and you're watching everybody here and you're like, how does that guy get tapped out?
Oh,
how does that guy get a 3 count?
Look at this face-off. Look at this face-off. Mack Sterling and Simply Divine.
Now, this is an interesting one. Mack Sterling here loves to push that new generation. Perfect blend of old school and new school styles here. It's going to be excellent
School's
opportunity
out.
for him to
There's
learn.
no school right now. It's summer vacation, Jackie.
Nah, man, he's
if these guys are in school, they're very bad
Ronan's
people.
in the summer school right now. He's on the nonstop
That
grind.
makes him a bad person.
No, he's on the
a
nonstop
terrible
grind.
student if he's in summer school.
No.
Only
he's
bad
taking
students
he's
go to
taking
summer
it
school.
extra.
Why is he in school right now?
No, he's learning
First
extra.
off, he's the oldest high school ever if he's in school right now.
No, listen. I'm not
many
letting.
times
Oh
has he
my
been
gosh!
held back?
Everybody took a spill here. There's nobody left standing.
The one person that people hate more than Mark Magnus is Too Loud Timmy Jackson.
I mean, I want to deny that, but with how much Tim Jackson
dancing is of the devil.
Listen, Tim Jackson got a lot of cheers, but with how much he gets beat up every week, I really can't deny Tim Jackson's got some haters. Okay, there's Tim Jackson haters out there, but there are just as many Tim Jackson lovers.
Sterling and Magnus. Sterling with the
Magnus literally just took a banana spill.
That was
that
was the lowest cutter I've ever seen. 2, 3. Magnus.
Oh my gosh.
Mack Sterling and Cousin Cooter win the 3-way tag team match. Don Basher Memorial Weekend is underway.
Crazy way to clear the ring.
What a first half we've had, and it's not over yet. We have one more match in this first half of the show.
We still got more to go? Man, last week we only had 3 in the first half. This week we get 4. It just keeps getting better. Oh, hold on. Will Asher here taking it out
Jackson.
Taking it out on Mark here. Hold on. Don't get distracted.
Get Timmy away from him.
Yo, Ronan and Valentine here trying to figure out what's going on. They might join in, might not. Asher here is going to take out the winners, take out the losers, take out
Will
whoever.
Asher taking out his tag team partner.
He took out Mack Sterling here a second ago, too.
Will Asher, there's no reason behind what he does. I know he's upset that his partner lost the match for them. There's no call for that.
But there is a call.
Oh, my God!
For Too Loud.
Why are you still here?
That's
Go
right,
away!
ladies and gentlemen. Too loud, Timmy
Get
Jackson.
out! Go away!
On the microphone.
Why are you here?
You said my name.
What are you, Joe Hendry?
No, I could never. No, I am too loud, Timmy Jackson and Reggie. You better keep Too Loud Stray's name out your mouth,
Or
man.
what? Or what?
Or what? We gonna
What are you
beat
gonna
your
do?
boys
What are you gonna
next
do?
week. Zay and David.
Oh no, that you didn't see the announcement? That's not next week.
That's not next
No,
week.
we're kicking off July. Red, White, and Bruised, with them taking their tag team titles back from you guys that stole them. The only reason you won the only reason you won that match is because they were distracted by me coming out there. That's why you won. Yeah.
You know, Reggie,
Yeah.
all I hear is talk. I see no action from you.